So there's a block um in Create Aeronautics called the navigation table, and it's one that I actually wanted to look into because it's very interesting in that it will point a redstone signal towards a thing based on where you're looking compared to it. And like, I'm just curious what I can do with this. And I kind of want to make some kind of turret with it. Because, like, it'll be wobbly a little bit, but, like, this kind of points towards it. If I'm facing this way, I need to pitch up. If I'm facing this way, I need to pitch that way. And I kind of want to use a tracker with it. And another thing I want to test is remove that. And then remove that too. What is that advancement? Ah, it just deleted it, so it's weird. Okay. I want to put this on a physics assembler. And then... yeah, lodestones still work like that. Meaning that if we have this on a moving target, as long as the moving target has a lodestone, which wouldn't work in combat as much, but it would work if you're, like, trying to make an arm to dock something or something, then you can track that. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to need is a bearing. And I want to be able to move this by a set amount. I'm going to build it a couple up. But we need that, and we need another. Like so. And then assemble that. Assemble that. I'm going to unlock both of these just until I can get them powered. And that way we can look any direction. Here, let me build this out a couple. And then we can have this point up, have it point down, left, right. We can have it do whatever. However, I'm not going to do it like that because I want the navigation table to be on the top. And also I want it to be one further out because the spacing. And then it should rotate these based on that. But I'm also going to delete that because I want it to be more centered. So then if I have this, and then make sure that I unlock this, and then freeze that there. And I just, let's grab another lodestone of this compass, or another compass of that lodestone, put that into my inventory, bring this closer, and we can see it's a left of us, so we have to move this counterclockwise. Now, this might be a little wobbly, but I think I'm just going to do that with a cogwheel and not a transmission, what is it called? Go over to Create Simulated. Where is it? A directional gear shift. And then this should allow for powering each side. I'm just going to use a motor for this. You could use, like, any kind of power. Like, even a water wheel would work for this. Oh, you know what? I need this one to the side because I need the cogwheel. And then have this there. And then I need a link. A redstone link. And an arrow. And you know what? I think I already have a contraption here that uses those arrows for navigation. So we're just gonna bind it to wool. I want up, I want down. Don't need those two, because we already have that thing assembled. I want left, and I want right. Left and right. So then I can place one of these on each side. Kinda looks neat as like a little cannon trail. And then we want up, down, right, and left. And then I can control middle click that to get the same signal. sneak click that. Ooh, that is not what I wanted. Always left. Did those two detach? They did. I guess I'm gonna rebuild that. And then move this up. Oh, you know what? This isn't gonna let me move that part, so I'm just gonna grab this, and then... I want to lock this, is what I want to do. And then... we want to, because the yellow should be activated, put the yellow on the other side. Yeah, and then it's a little wobbly, and we can tune that with the speed. But we have the left and right working, at least. And now we need the up and down. So green is going to... Okay, so then we need to have these, a cog wheel next to it, and then a motor. I might have to reverse the direction. I'm not fully sure, because it might end up inverted. And then I need to grab the up, make that receiving, and the down. I'll make that receiving too. And if I go ahead and grab this, then that thing points towards it the best it can. That is an interesting system. Because then if I go like that, then it is going to track it. How far away can I grab this? From really far, as long as I'm embedded. And then this is at 16, when the other one's at, I think, 4. And then it's aimed straight at it, pretty much. I'm gonna look at the ponder for this real quick, and then see if there's any other information I should know about it. Okay, I think that's all I really have to know about it. Because taking at the compass is the only click interaction, I think. And if it's not detecting anything, it won't move from its last position. So if I just get one of these... So I have the compass, and then I get a normal lodestone. And get a compass from that. Then I can swap these out. And now it's going to point right there. And it kind of looks down until it has to look up. And it's not precise, per se. It's not quite as precise. But it's doing really well for it. For what it is. And, like, I wouldn't have thought to use this for this, usually, but, like, I saw how it was behaving when it came to tilting, when I was doing experimenting for this video, and it turned out really well. And it even works with moving targets, and this is some smart math that this block alone is doing. And I've done this in Trailmakers before, and I've done this in different games before, but this is like the first time that I've seen this kind of thing even possible in Minecraft. Here, there's a spud turret that I think I can throw on this. Can you go on the bottom of things? You can. You can go on the bottom of things. And then I just want to grab my motor. Once again, I'm not having this even go way too fast on these two, so like you could totally power this with a water wheel, and it would work just fine. You could probably make this smaller, too. But, if I go ahead and, I want it so that if none of these are active, then it fires. And I think I can do that with receivers. I think I can build an array over here. Get the different rolls out. I need that, and I need yellow. Set these to receive. And then they're going to power this, which is going to send out the signal to fire, and then that makes it... Wait, no, I need a torch. I need a torch at the end of this. Yeah. So then you get the signal to fire. You get receiving. And then all I have to do is put ammunition in, which honestly shouldn't be too hard, because I think I can just use a chute here. And then I need to replace the redstone link. That shouldn't be too hard. Receiving, and then I need a barrel. And then putting, like, some golden carrots into here will fire, but only when it's looking at the thing. And then if I change compass, it's going to stop firing. Where's this lodestone port? Oh. Why are you up? Why are you struggling? Red should be tilting this backwards. Did I flip it on accident? What's this doing? Locked? Huh, I'm gonna take a look at that real quick. Seemed to have just been a collision issue. Because this is doing just fine looking at it now. Huh. Well, that was definitely what I intended from that. Okay, so I've swapped that for a dispenser, and if I swap this for a pulse timer, then we can put this here instead. How did you get a hold of the compass? And then put arrows in there. Of any kind. Maybe something that doesn't fall quite as far, though. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. Fan isn't working. But if I go ahead and move this... Oh. Oh, there's not a compass it's going for. Oh, because the hopper is feeding it into there. That's what the hopper is doing. Ah, that's why I did that. I didn't know that hoppers could do that. I knew that chutes could. I just didn't think about it. Oh, so now that's inverted. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's 180, so I'm gonna have to give it a slight bump, yeah. It'll usually face forwards, but if it's perfectly behind it, it will take a second. And then arrow... just goes into here. I could have sworn there was a way to... yeah. Can I not do that in containers? Weird. Maybe that's a mod that I don't have that I'm used to. But yeah, we're shooting the target block with it. And then we move it over here. It stops firing until it thinks it's at the place. Then it keeps firing. It's a little bit less than perfect in its tracking. But, like, this is full tracking. It's just because of the redstone signal, it, like, cuts off when it's about their correct angle, instead of perfect, so that you have a little bit of dead zone. But this can point towards any position that you tell it to, and that's really cool. But this is such a fun system, and it's definitely not terrifying at all when I attach a laser pointer up to it. Video, and see you next time. Let me know any videos ideas you might have in the comments with this, or to do with something else with Create Aeronautics. See ya!